Cardinals Corner from Arizona Sports.
Cardinals Corner from Arizona Sports with Tyler Drake and Lauren Koval.
The Arizona Cardinals started out fast, but ended up falling flat once again to a divisional foe. Another rough one. Welcome back into another edition of Cardinals Corner. I'm Tyler Drake, joined as always by Lauren Koval. But instead of a win, we're talking about another loss, 45-17. Cardinals on the wrong side once again, got wrecked by the Rams, and are keeping pace in the wrong kind of race, the NFL draft race for 2026. So before we dive into the X's and O's and the numbers we probably don't really want to talk about, Lauren, how we doing today?
We're doing all right, Tyler. I got to say, this one is a little bit of exactly what I expected it to be.
Yeah, I think I was about there too, but then you look at how it started. One drive, the opening drive, looked so easy. Looked like they're one of the easiest scoring drives the Cardinals have had all season. Michael Wilson steps right back into wide receiver one territory, gets it done. And then after that, it was basically all Rams the rest of the way. And there was a moment where it's like, wow, they might come back. They might come into this game, have a turnaround, have something you can build off of, give the people at State Farm Stadium something to cheer for, which, by the way, was very blue for a team that is not known to travel as well and usually gets taken over by rival teams in SoFi. A lot of blue today, I'll just say that. But then you look at the rest of the totality. You look at the Rams, and this is the one thing that stood out to me the most. 5 straight scoring drives. That is not going to equal wins for the Cardinals. Field goal, touchdown, just over and over and over and over, like Marshawn Lynch, I believe he said the famous quote. But just a really, another lopsided loss. And I think this is the third game this team has allowed at least 41 points to NFC West rivals. For everybody that thinks head coach Jonathan Gannon's job is 100% safe, these kind of losses and showing you just how far you are from really playing to the level that the Seattle Seahawks, the Los Angeles Rams, the San Francisco 49ers are playing at, you're well off. There's a valley between the last place in the NFC West where the Cardinals are and are going to remain for the rest of the season and the other 3 teams on the other side. So, after the game, and point blank, Josh Sweat said, "God damn." That's how he reacted on his thoughts of the loss. He had Jacoby Brissett. I asked him straight, point blank, like, what are the issues? What issues did you see? And he just plain and simple said, we got beat. That's it. No excuse. They beat us. And I think that's really the name of the game today is whatever you want to say about this team, they did not come in. They did not show up outside of that opening drive and some later scores. They didn't come to play. And that's coaching, that's players, that's across the board failure right there.
And it wasn't like the Rams were doing anything special today to the Arizona Cardinals in terms of their offensive scoring drives. It was almost exactly the same execution play-wise for the Rams every time that they went down the field. They even targeted the guy that the Cardinals assumed they'd target the entire game, and he absolutely got his own today against the Cardinals, so much so that you have to then question any kind of in-game adjustments the Cardinals were just unable to make against Puka Nacua.
Oh, it was brutal. There's probably people watching this game who might have won their fantasy football matchup just because of what Puka Nacua did today. Like, that's the kind of performance he put on tape. Will Johnson, one of his worst games, I think, as a pro. He had a tough task. And Puka, he put on his veteran savviness and went to work. And you've just got to, you got to applaud it. He went to work. And exactly like you said, this was public enemy number 1. Matthew Stafford dialing it up. The Rams are a team that are going to be in the race at the end of this thing in the playoffs. That the kind of showing they had today, and yes, the Cardinals have their failures, but you look at them, you look at the Niners, you look at the Seattle Seahawks, it's just these teams are all playoff bound, and the Cardinals are closer to a top number 1 overall pick than they are to an NFC wildcard spot, and that right there shows you just how far they've fallen from the expectations, the high hopes, and all that jazz. It's just... it makes you wonder how much more of a leash Jonathan Gannon might have because, yes, you want to have continuity. Yes, you want to have these guys running the show still. Yes, you don't want to go into another 3-year rebuild where this could be the exact same result. You want to stick with continuity, but if you're not seeing anything, you're seeing a downturn, which this was supposed to be a playoff berth team or a playoff team this year, you've got to at least look at it. You've got to have There's going to be a lot this offseason, a lot, even beyond the quarterback situation, which we got to talk about that too. But from that standpoint, heads have got to roll. Maybe it's not head coach Jonathan Gannon. Some people have got to go. If he wants to have any shot of commanding this team in 2026, at least to start out, because I don't think the leash is going to be very long there, they have really got to get their P's and Q's in order and really get after it, because, like I said, heads have got to roll. And if it's not Jonathan Gannon, it's got to be multiple others. I think we can all agree that Kyler Murray's probably not coming back. That would probably count as one. Offensive coordinator Drew Petzing put up 17 points today, and really 7 of those was during garbage time. Do you want to roll that, run that back? I mean, you look at Nick Rawless and what he's been doing defensively. You gave up 45 points. What do you do there? That's the third time, like I said earlier, that you're giving up at least 40 points to a divisional foe. So across the board, especially for a defensive-minded head coach who is, hung his hat on that side of the football, a lot needs to happen very quickly. The self-evaluation, there's 4 more weeks left. You have got to put something good on tape that you can try to build off of. I know Jonathan Gannon's not big into momentum, but when it comes to this team and where they're at right now, they need any kind of that whatsoever heading into the offseason, where changes are coming. Big time. Big changes are coming.
And something that's really disappointing about all of these steep divisional losses that the Cardinals has had is that you look at those other teams, you look at the Rams who they played today and the guys who they find successful, the Jared Verses, the Fisks, the Puka Nakuas. They're young guys who are going to be a member of this team for a while. You look at the 49ers and where they're finding their talent, their wide receiver room, Christian McCaffrey, if he can stay healthy. Yes, there's questions at quarterback for them of Mac Jones and Brock Purdy. Yeah, there's question marks about the Rams and Matthew Stafford. How much longer is he going to be able to do this? You go look at the Seahawks, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Looks like he's the new Larry Fitzgerald out there these days. And he absolutely demolished the Atlanta Falcons today, who the Cardinals are going to see in just a few weeks' time. And so now you have to question, all of these teams are getting younger. They're getting over their own difficulties and their own struggles and their own problems within their team and finding ways to win and consistently make it to the playoffs in a way where the Cardinals have basically been rebuilding since they made the Super Bowl. And yes, we thought that this might be the season that they turn it around. Expectations were, hey, your rebuild's done, you're moving on. Well, you're not done with your rebuild. And to have a successful rebuild, it takes at least 2-3 years in the NFL to figure it out, to get the young guys up to speed, to figure out what you're doing at quarterback. Who are your coaches? Who's leading you? Are you going old guys? Are you going new faces in this department? And those are all questions that the Arizona Cardinals have this offseason, unlike the fellow teams in their division that it feels like maybe they have 2 or 3 of those questions. The Cardinals feel like all of them are left without answers. And then you have to question, how much longer are you willing to let the on-field product that we're seeing now go on without making any kind of substantial change?
I mean, here's one thing, too, going back to the draft stuff. The Rams are set up pretty well. Because guess what? They're right behind the Cardinals at, I believe, number 9 overall for this draft because of what they did last year at the NFL draft with the trade with the Atlanta Falcons. So, I mean, the Matthew Stafford question could very well get answered with, hey, we're just going to bring in a rookie and we're just going to keep on rolling and keep on being dominant and keep on learning under Sean McVay. So it could very well get worse before it gets better. And I know that a lot of people don't want to hear that, but that's what it's feeling. I mean, can they even beat Atlanta? Either way, it's going to be tough because you could win, you give them another loss, you let the Rams get up a little bit higher in that draft order, tough. You lose, you keep on doing what you're doing against a really bad Falcons team, rough. I mean, we're getting into no-win territory right now. No-win territory for the Cardinals, and I'm not just saying that because of the additional 5-game losing streak. It's getting rough. It is getting rough for sure. But one positive at least, Michael Wilson staying with it. Obviously, he can roll into that wide receiver 1 role and run with it. I said roll a lot there. 2 touchdowns today. Looks like the guy that we've seen taking over from Marvin Harrison Jr. Jacoby Brissett, that's a guy that he said that's the kind of guy he wants to line up with every day. Look at Trey. He is now tied with Travis Kelce, I believe. Yes. No, yeah, tied with Travis Kelce now with at least 5 catches. I believe it's 15 straight games. Wow. and he almost didn't get it because it was getting close there at the end. But I mean, really, that's about the only positives I've got from this one. It's brutal. It's a brutal time for the Arizona Cardinals because you really don't know where it's going. And I mean, one thing that I think you probably have to go look into the rest of the year is, do you take that defensive play calling over? I mean, you're giving up 40 points to NFC West rivals who, yes, they're all probably going to be in the playoffs. But I think you've got to try something new. You've got to try something new. If you're not going to get rid of people mid-season, you've got to find other ways to try to shake something loose here moving forward. And I mean, for all we know that people want to be, I know a lot of fans want the losses to continue to pile up, get a better draft spot, and hey, they're still in the running to get the number 1 overall pick. I mean, I think the team at number 1 right now, the Giants, have one more win than the Cardinals. That is just how bad it is right now. I mean, it is very much fighting for a potentially top 5 pick. I mean, I think they're number 9 or 8 right now, and that could easily go up, a lot more given what we've seen so far and kind of the direction that this team is heading, which is not up. It is down right now. They need a lot to go their way in a hurry. 4 games left. You've got to put something good on tape if you want to have any kind of good feelings heading into offseason. And hey, does this regime want to go handpick a rookie quarterback? You need to show that you can actually get some things done and actually win some games before you can even get to that point.
And not to take your positive from this game and spin it into a negative, but I think it almost highlights this game against the Rams perfectly, which is the fact that, yes, Michael Wilson has a great game. Trey McBride has a game that we expect him to have at this rate. Is it fantastic? No. But like you said, he's consistently getting his own out there in these games. And that's it for the Cardinals offense. If you're playing them and you shut them down, there's nothing else that they can do.
No run game.
Nothing else. There's no developments for them in the run game. There's no check downs. There's nothing about the bread and butter so-called offense of the Arizona Cardinals that we've seen anymore. So today, against the Rams, the first drive is so successful because Jacoby Brissett's able to find Michael Wilson, who's making incredible catches or easy catches just because necessarily the corners and safeties aren't in tight on it. The second that they learn from that, the defense adjusts, and they don't let the ball go to Michael Wilson easily. They don't let the ball go to Trey McBride easily.
Well, then you look at it, I believe they had 3 rushes for 2 yards or 2 rushes for 3 yards on that drive. Like, the run game, you could tell right away, was not going to be effective. Like, that was thrown out the window. The Rams are good as they are, but you've got to do some major lifting this offseason from the offensive line back to running back because, hey, guess who's not out there still? Trey Benson. Guess who was probably going to be the heir apparent to James Conner? Trey Benson. I don't know if you can really say that right now. Like, I hope he can bounce back. I hope he can be the guy. But 29 carries right now, and this was supposed to be the year where you really took that next step. Injuries suck, but availability is huge in this game. So it's really, you're going to look at everything this offseason. But I do, speaking of offseason, let's get past this game. It's 45-17. Cardinals we're out of this one by halftime. Let's move on. Kyler Murray not coming back the rest of the year. I thought our podcast last week was perfect in setting up potential landing spots. We have talked about him not coming back, not playing this year. I want to say for months now, multiple months. It's been something that has just been known. It feels like that's the case. It's trending that way. And finally, it just came out. And, I mean, second opinion, not progressing the way he wants. Jonathan Gannon said it on Friday? So I very much think that he's probably played his last snap as a Cardinal because, again, we've already talked about it. Change has got to happen. You've got to find, if you want to say the word, you got to find a scapegoat. And he's probably up at the top because as much as we want to talk about this coaching regime needing to take a step forward, or regime in general, this was supposed to be the year for Kyler. This was supposed to be the year where he really took that step, fully healthy, ACL out of mind, out of sight, out of mind. Instead, he gets hurt, and even when he was healthy, he was not leading this offense the way that, yes, I know we just talked a lot about how Jacoby and them didn't get it done, but Kyler wasn't doing it even more so. So not all on him. Obviously, there's issues left and right. I think I would be wrong in saying that it is all on him because look what happened today. 3-score loss, not going to cut it. Rough. 3-score, might even more than that. Math is not my strong suit. But yeah, just a rough situation all around. It's going to be very interesting. Offseason is going to hit, and it is going to be chaos. It is going to be absolute chaos, not only about who's leaving, but who is going to replace some of these names that we just threw out there. Because I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see how
that
they
shoulder
piece
shrug
together
that
everything.
you gave right there, by the way, that is how I feel. On the inside, I think you've just materialized physically. Oh, no, we're losing the AirPods. But I think that shoulder shrug right there, you've kind of materialized the feeling of basically every Arizona Cardinals fan as you run through all of these options.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. I mean, hey, Fernando Mendoza went off, right? So I know a lot of Cardinals fans were excited about the potential for that. Maybe we see.
You got to get up higher in the draft, though.
It might very well happen. There's
Yeah.
only one game separating them from the top spot now. Like, that's how bad it's getting.
Yeah.
Like, it should not be the case. You want to go get a 15th pick overall because, it was here and there. You won some, you lost some. Cool. You are literally heading towards a top 5, top 3, top 1 pick. You keep losing this way, and the teams in front of you miraculously fall into some wins, which very well could be the case. Look at Tennessee. I know it was Cleveland, but still, it could easily be in the cards, and no pun intended there. It's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out. And hey, make the move up. If you are really, really sold on this and you want to put your job on the line, I'm talking about Monty Osforth, the front office, head coach Jonathan Gannon, and really make that push for a rookie quarterback, handpick them, see how long you've got. I mean, Jacoby Brissett's going to be a great mentor, I believe. Could also be the bridge guy till you know the rookie's ready. Do you want to put all your eggs in that basket in a potential make or break year? Because this was supposed to be that year, and if anybody's coming back and have any kind of survival for year 4, they're going to be the first ones to go if this thing doesn't work in the first, 4 or 5 games, especially if it's lopsided losses like this.
And these lopsided losses are what so seriously highlights the plethora of issues that the Arizona Cardinals have to deal with in the draft. And I personally would feel better about bringing in a rookie quarterback if I felt like the Arizona Cardinals offensive line was in any place to take on a rookie quarterback. We've seen so many rookie quarterbacks come into this league and fail because their offensive line can't keep them healthy. Or we've seen quarterbacks try to make miraculous plays, trying to win games for their teams and end up getting hurt. We've seen Jackson Dart get into concussion protocol multiple times this year. Jaden Daniels just re-injured himself this week against the Minnesota Vikings. Bad. And that's the kind of thing that you worry about happening here with the Arizona Cardinals because they have so many issues to address, and you become jealous of a team like the Rams, who you brought up. Yeah, they might use that pick to go out there and get a quarterback to be the backup behind Stafford when Stafford eventually retires and moves on. But the problem is that they have a set offensive line, and they have a mentor in Matthew Stafford, and they are basically what the Arizona Cardinals want to be. And not only is that team someone great to model everything after, they're in your own division.
Yep. That's the tough part of it all. That is the tough part of it all. And 0-5 right now against the division this year. Bad.
JG's overall record against the division is something that absolutely has to bring pause to you, because you think as a head coach you're able to get your team up for the bigger games, the in-division games, the rivalry games, the things that are more important. Like you said, if they'd kept it close like they were in the first half of this game, you're looking at this in rose-colored glasses going, yeah, hey, the Arizona Cardinals didn't win it, but at least they played a little bit better than we thought they might against the Rams, who look like they could be the best team in the NFC so far this season.
Yep.
And they were unable to do that, and Jonathan Gannon's been unable to do that in his entire tenure here with the Arizona Cardinals, and that's just incredibly disappointing to hang your hat on.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. You've got to beat the teams that are in your division. That's the name of the game here. Like, you can go out there and play against some of these other teams in other divisions, but when it comes down to it, you have got to put together a good record against divisional rivals, because they know you know them, you know what they're going to bring to the table. That's when it comes down to you've got to coach better. I really do think you've got to execute, players do, but you have got to be able to hang with some of the best minds in the game. Shanahan's not going anywhere anytime soon. McDonald's not going anywhere anytime soon. Sean McVay, unless he randomly retires out of nowhere because he's too good of a coach because they win another Super Bowl, that's about the only reason he's going to leave. So it's an uphill climb. Like I said, it might get worse before it gets better, and it's trending that way because there's only 4 games left. What kind of momentum can you even have after this season? Trey McBride's probably an all-pro, probably a Pro Bowler, overshadowed completely by what this team's doing. What this team's not doing, I should say. So really interesting. But hey, one more thing. Daniel Jones, I think he has a torn Achilles. So Colts might be in that running for Kyler Murray. Who knows? At least another job opening's there. So that's going to be something to watch. Outside of that, I don't really have anything else, Lauren. If you got got a fun stat or would like to end the show on something positive? I don't know.
Finding a positive note in this one might be the biggest task of this podcast that you've asked me to do here.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Michael Wilson will be the positive then. That's what we'll end it on.
Yeah.
Michael Wilson, keep stepping up, keep doing your thing, coming in and getting it done. Wide receiver 1, not even blinking. Obviously, I talked to him in the locker room this week. He'd love to have Marvin out there, but he is clearly going head and shoulders above what we've seen just at that position. Consistency's there. Targets have definitely been there. So I'm going to be very interested to see what happens moving forward with that whole situation. This is another step of you have got to divvy up these targets a little bit more. Got to get Michael Wilson involved much more. But yeah, we'll end it on that. Michael Wilson, you get the 1 gold star of the day. Outside of that, it was a lot of, I don't even know what you call the opposite of a gold star. Thumbs down. The rest of it was a thumbs down for the Cardinals. 45-17, loss to the Rams. Their 3rd game of giving up at least 41 points to NFC West foes. That's not going to get it cut, or that's not going to cut it. But thanks for sticking around. This is Cardinals Corner. Follow the show at AZ Cards Corner. You can follow me at TDrake for Sports. Follow Lauren at Colville_Lauren. And yes, we'll be back to talk about another game coming up this week and probably a lot more offseason stuff too, because that's just where we're at right now. Draft, Kyler Murray talk, what's going to happen with this team from the coaching staff on down. What can Monty Osfort do to really help this team take that next step in the offseason and beyond? It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a lot of chaos. We'll be with you the whole way. So we'll catch you next time.